Yo, what's up, guys? Okay, so for today's video, I actually have a really long one today because I don't want to break it into two separate videos, but I want to bring you guys the last 2 days of Legends. So, the day before 288, I think that was the 301 day I posted, like the very last video that I have. But I want to go ahead and I want to show you guys and bring you guys these hits. We haven't been getting the greatest defense, which is expected. I mean, I think all week, or at least like the past like 4 or 5 days, I've been like sitting at just like hovering at just like around 1,000 in the world. So we're kind of expected to get this defense, but let's go ahead and let's jump in to the first attack of actually yesterday. Okay, so I was actually surprised I saw this base at such a high reset, but because I still ended like 1,000 something yesterday as well, but I'm surprised I saw it. But I guess I shouldn't be, because I have been seeing a lot of mass thrower spam at high legends, which I'm kind of shocking. So I guess I'm not too surprised I saw this base, but still a little bit. I mean, it's burnt, it's been out for like over a month, so like kind of shocked, kind of not. But I wanted to bring you at least like both of the days, because at midnight, well, I guess it already is midnight, but at 1 o'clock, so in like an hour, these hits that I'm showing you right now will be gone, so I won't be able to show you guys. And I really want to, because like I want to because I feel like this is really my season. I have been like, I think the lowest, or the, I don't know what you would say, lowest or highest, I don't know, but like the worst reset I've had for this season has been like 3,000 global. So like otherwise I've been like 2,000, 1,000. I was top 1,000 for like a couple days. But anyway, so I feel like this is my season to get top 1,000 with Lalo. Like, I really feel locked in. And like I had like, it was like a couple days where like, well, it was more like a week. It was like a whole week where I was attacking poorly, going like 240, 270, 240, 270. But the past like 4 days or whatever it's been, I've been attacking very good. I've been like 274, 280, and then I think it was 274, 280, 301, 288, which was the attacks you're watching right now. And then today was 292. So I really wanted to just bring you guys the hits and just have it for my YouTube channel, because I really do think I'm going to get top 1,000. I really want to show you guys, like, hey, I really did use Lalo like almost the entire season. I know at the beginning of the season I kind of messed around with a witch army I made. I did like 2 days this season with fireball rocket balloons. I did like 2 days with fireball rocket balloons, which was but like those first, like the first week, honestly, the first 2 weeks don't even matter. So like those days don't even really matter towards the top 1,000 push. But still, I wanna have these hits on my YouTube channel, just so people can see, like, hey, this guy did use Lalo for basically the entire season. So like, he did get a top 1,000 finish with Lalo, and I really think this season I will get it. So that's why I'm bringing you this video. I know it's gonna be long. Don't watch the whole thing. It's fine. Don't watch it all. It's fine. I just want to have it on my YouTube channel, so people are like, yo, this guy really did push the entire season with Lalo. And I say entire season, and like I said, it's not entirely true, because I did spend like the first like few days messing around, but like I was so burnt out because I pushed the entire season with Lalo last season. I had to kind of switch it up to keep from getting burnt out. So, but like I said, those first few days of the season doesn't matter. Like there's a lot of guys who push the top 1,000 who don't even start pushing until there's like 20 days left, so they skip like the first entire week, and they do that, then I get burned out on the game. But I don't know, I can't really just not attack, so I had to just mess around, have some fun. But now, we've been pushing for like almost 2 weeks at this point with Lalo, and we still have like, I think we have like 11, we have like 12 or 13 days left in this season. So I think we can all agree. If I do get top 1,000, I got it with Lalo. I think we can all agree on that. But either way, for this base, it's kind of weird. I want to say because this base, I have seen this base like a couple months ago, or not a couple, but like I saw it like a month ago. So like it's kind of weird that at these top like high resets like this that I'm resetting, I'm actually seeing a lot of the bases like from like old seasons. It's kind of weird. I've been seeing kind of old bases, and I don't know if that's just like good luck or if that's really just what is at high legends. But it's kind of shocking. But yeah, this attack right here, it was so sketchy. I actually thought I one-starred because the queen's clone goes away and the giant doesn't target like non-defensive buildings. So I was very sketched out, but we had the minions and the barbarians to go clutch up. So very nice. And I think we swag an ice block. So, crushed. Crushed, we can say, even though I was very nervous it was going to one-star. But, let's go ahead and let's get into the next attack. Okay, so this is actually a base from this season. I think this is Dima 4, so it's Dima's 4th base for this season. I've never actually 3-starred this base until this attack, just because I always time fail on it. So I start my warden at the bottom. All the traps are down at this rage compartment, by the way, and then we flinger up top. I actually messed up my flinger. I should have tested with an archer to check for the range, but I was trying to be super quick, so I didn't want to do that, so it actually kind of cost me, but we still get it done, so that's fine. And then after this, we're just gonna shoot a quick, nice, simple fireball, and yeah, should be good. But yeah, so, like I said, I really think this is my season. I really want to, and another reason why I want to talk about it, people, like, not people have asked me, but I know some people in my clan have asked me anyway. They're like, oh, Mikey, why are you not using the Dragon Duke? And the reason I don't want to use the Dragon Duke is because I don't want people to be like when I do get top 1,000 with Lalo, I don't want people to be like, oh, well, you only got it because of the new broken hero. And so it's like, no, it's like I'm not gonna give people any reason to like think that or try to like diminish my top 1,000 finish with Lalo when I get it. So that is the main reason on why I'm not using the Dragon Duke. Is the Dragon Duke better than the RC? For sure. Is it better for Fireball Lalo? Probably. I haven't tried it. Well, I tried it on one base one time and it wasn't better, but that's you can't try it on one base and like that be your final conclusion. So is it better? Probably. I would almost say 100%, but I don't want people to be like, oh, well, the only reason you got top 1,000 was because of the new OP hero. And, I don't want people to diminish my finish. So that's why I'm still using the RC, and I will use the RC with Lalo until I get top 1,000. So, yeah, that's another reason, because I'm almost 100% sure it would be the only top 1,000 finish with Lalo in modifiers in the entire world, ever. So I really want that for myself, just to kind of have something over everybody else, and kind of just for my own pride. And I just really love this army. It's my army, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's why I'm not using the Dragon Duke. So I kind of wanted to express that or tell people that. So yeah. So either way, we get this base done. Don't time fail on it, thank goodness. And it's crushed. We have our queen and our warden alive. So yeah, I guess I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, so that was the Oshida Avengers was this guy. So let's get into this one. Okay, so this base is kind of funky. So I actually like attacking this style of base usually. This one's really close. But when I see this, I always look for Flame Flinger value. So it's like, okay, I can't really get any Flame Flinger value over here, but this expo over here is very much on the outside, so I can just invis this multi-archer tower and then just send my 4 rocket balloons in there, and I can just Flame Flinger that whole side. But you always want to start your warden first and then do your flinger, because if you don't do that, you will time fail. So, and this actually, unfortunately, triggers the CC. But, sometimes it's actually kind of good to just get the CC out of the way. So, yeah, and then we're just gonna place our flinger, test with an archer just to make sure, and we're just gonna flame flinger that whole rage section out, and then we're gonna fireball this one. So yeah, should be crushed. Well, say should be crushed. I know if it's crushed or not, and it wasn't. I can tell you I barely 3-starred this by the skin of my teeth. I don't really know what I did wrong either. I guess I sent my Lalo in a poor place. I should have sent my Lalo somewhere else. And did that Rico cannon just get a shot off of my Warden? How's that? Or on my Flinger? How's that possible? Whatever. And then we're just going to send our Warden over here to get this multi-Inferno. And we're going to send our heroes into the Town Hall. And yeah, I feel like this was a really good approach. I feel like there wasn't a good spot to send my Lalo, which is kind of unfortunate. So we start the Warden. I wish I could zoom out more, but unfortunately I can't. And sometimes it's kind of hard to see when, like, you got working parts on literally every side of the base. So it's kind of hard. And I apologize for that. But yeah, we send our hero, our Sui, into the Town Hall. And yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. I guess my RC deployment was good, but I sent my Lalo over here. But you see, there's not really any good spot to send my Lalo, because the Bomb Hive. Like, the Bomb Hive, like, kind of, like, solos everything. I guess I could have sent it off over to this side over here, but, like, my Sui's kind of already over there, and, like, the Bomb Hive and the Archer Queen literally just solo. I literally just could have just swagged my Lalo. It didn't do anything. But yeah, I really thought I was going to fail. But somehow we don't, because the Warden is an idiot, and he just jumped into there, but the Giant literally saves it. The Giant is so clutch, because my RC dies, and I got Giant 4 minions left, and the Giant freaking gets through the walls, because he literally, dude, he's actually kind of broken, to be honest with you. Okay, it's time for the first fail of the day. So this one was very bad. I've only been failing like twice a day the past few days, but when I do fail, it's atrocious. So I try to snipe these 2 mortars out so I can send rocket balloons in for this expo. And while I'm trying to do that, I forget about my Warden. And by the way, I don't get the expo because the Rage Tower went off, and I just tried to send 4 rocket balloons in there, and see, they literally just got destroyed by the scatter shot in 1 hit. So what I should have done is I should have placed an invis as well. Like, I should have just went ahead and used an invis to like, protect the rocket balloons. And while I was doing that, I was like, oh my god, I didn't get the expo, and then I just didn't even realize that the CC got pulled up top, and my Warden got killed immediately. So terrible fail. We just go ahead and we recover the 2-star. It's basically a 1-star. I tried to rack up percentage in like any way I could, but there was like nothing I could do, to be honest with you. Like, I could have maybe tried to flinger the bottom, but there was like nothing I could do. So I just salvaged the 2-star and just call it a day. Because, like, if you fail badly like once and then like have like a time fail the other attack, one other attack, and then 3-star the other 6, it's a pretty good day. And by the way, that's literally what I did. Like, see, like, had this terrible 60%, basically a 1-star, and then I don't think that, I think that 90 was an actual fail, but still, then I 3-starred all the rest, and it was like a decent day. Let's go ahead and jump into the next. Okay, so looking at this base, we have another anti-thrower, anti-spam base. So I'm looking at this. A lot of fireball value on the Rage Tower, so. But it's like, you could fireball something else and get like maybe more value, maybe more worthwhile value, but I think the Rage just sets such a good funnel. But I'm also looking at this bottom section. Okay, it's like we got this multi-inferno, we got this multi-gear cannon. It's like, I think I'm just gonna snipe these 2. I saw Gavin Clash of Clans. I saw him do an approach very similar to this the base was, I don't know if I'd say it was similar, but it was a double Rage base. But see, we can tank for this ground expo with our Warden, and then let our Flinger kind of walk on this side of the base, and we can just fireball that Rage Tower without having have any trouble or interfere with the flame flinger. So I thought it was kind of cool approach. I think it's crushed, but I'm not for sure. So would I probably do this approach again? I don't know. I don't think I would, to be honest. I think I'd try something else because I feel like the flinger doesn't get as much value as I thought because of the enemy heroes. But I don't know. I mean, maybe I'd probably do it again. To be honest, it works once, it should work twice, right? Theoretically, because I think we have like. I think it's kind of crushed. I don't know. I did these attacks yesterday, so I don't really remember. But the one downside to doing this approach is I do only have one wall break in my army comp, so I have to use it for the flinger, which is kind of shitty, but either way, it's fine. But you see, like, we have 50% of the base down, like, still a royal champion and a Lalo, and both of our king and queen abilities, so I'd probably do it again. It wasn't that bad of an approach. I'm glad that the CC died. I just realized the Warden almost got pulled by that. King ability was decent. I sent my RC into the Dragon Duke, which like isn't the best idea, to be honest with you. And I tried to invis him, but you end up invising the Dragon Duke, and I pulled the CC, so I don't know. I'd probably do it again, to be honest. It wasn't like that close. We keep the rage for the Warden. RC still gets the Revenge Tower, and yeah, so, you know what, it's actually more crushed than I thought. Yeah, you know what, I would do that again. There's not very much left of the base, so it's actually kind of crushed. Oh, and the RC still, yeah, I would 100% do that again. That worked a lot better than I thought it was going to be honest. And I did this attack. Let's get into the next one. This was the other base I failed, and I failed it in a really dumb way, because I was trying to save. I was being so freaking stingy on my rage spell because I really didn't want to use it for the Warden, because I wanted to use the rage spell down through this area right here because I was planning on recalling my Warden down there. But I end up just letting him go to auto ability, and he ends up just swagging the fireball, and we still get 90% swagging the fireball. So I'm sure you guys don't really care to see a fail, so I'm just going to kind of speed it up a little bit, but you'll see, you'll get the gist of it. So, because I was trying to fireball this butter hut, because theoretically it would get like this whole side right here and just have the monolith. Not sure if it would, but that was the idea. But you see, we have this fire spitter, which is like causes a big trouble and pain. I should have just used the rage spell, because I ended up not even needing the rage spell for my Warden down through here. I ended up not even needing it, so I should have just used it. But you see, he just goes to auto ability, and yeah, I'm screwed at that point. But you see, this town hall is kind of open, kind of nice log value down through here. So that's what I opt for a log launcher. I didn't see any flame flinger value. You could snipe that and flame flinger out the side, but I was like, I didn't think it was enough to be worth it, to be honest. I'd rather get my heroes in the core. But yeah, so it would have been a 3-star if I just wasn't so damn stingy with my rage spell. Cause see, look, he didn't even need it down there. Didn't even need it. And yeah, it's kind of annoying, to be honest with you. Dude, I think that's literally a time fail. That's literally if I had infinite time, that probably 3 stars, to be honest with you. That's a horrific time fail. Nice. By the way, on that last base, I would probably recommend using the flame flinger to the side, to be honest with you. I would probably use it, looking back. Okay, now this base. I forget who made this base. I want to say it's a Hades base, but I've attacked it before, so. Basically the plan is for this. A lot of people like don't know what to fireball. I just like to fireball this multi-inferno and just get this rage section down, because if we fireball that and we let our Warden walk down this way, there's really nothing down there to really take him out. Cause like, yeah, there's a rage spell, but like you're gonna take it out when you, well, actually, you probably don't take it out, but like, you'll see, there's really not much down there to kill him. Like, I don't even think I use any spells to save him. I think I do because my RC, I end up using my RC to clear these two buildings right here. So I think the RC pulls him, which makes him walk and have the healers delay their healing. So I think that's the only reason I think that's the only reason I used a spell for him. Otherwise, I don't think you need a spell to support him if you just fireball this multi like I'm about to do. I don't think you need a spell. See, 2 invis, get that whole section down, and then you just recall him, and there's literally nothing down there to kill him. Like, it's just it's too spread out, I guess you could say, because he can deal with this Expo without this Rico being on him. And then he can 1v1 a raged up Rico. I use an invis on him, but you don't even need it. And then I just sui down through the top. I've seen people try to get flame flingers. Like, I used to have this base. I see people in my clan try to get flame flingers on this base. I don't even think it's worth it, to be honest. I'd rather just log launcher down the core, because you'll see the log launcher literally gets the revenge tower. So I think that's the best approach. I think it's the best way. I love sending my Sui. If the town hall's on the outside like that, I love sending my Sui with a log launcher through it. It, like, works so good. But you see, like, my Warden, I didn't even have to use any spells for him. I think I did use an Invis for that Rico, but you didn't need to. And then I used another one right there. But and then you just lollo the side, and the base is literally crushed. Oh my god, all this talking makes my mouth so dry. Kind of sucks. Yeah, you see, like, the base is crushed. So, and that's why I like Lollo. You see how much back-end power we had on that? Amazing. Okay, so now we are getting into the attacks from today. So, I was, again, another base that I was, like, very surprised to see at 1000 reset, because this is a very burnt base, but once again, I've been seeing a lot of mass throwers, and I'm sure this guy has too, so he's like, well, let's run a base that's really good for mass throwers. The only problem with that is, as soon as you run a base that's good for mass throwers, you get attacked by all fireball users. Happens every single time. But the goal, so a lot of people are like, well, what do you fireball in this base? I like to fireball this multi-archer because you get the CC. Like, that's literally the biggest reason. It's the only reason I fireball is just because I wasted that one invis. But yeah, you get the CC out. And I really, really dislike my Sui getting caught up on the CC, especially if it's ice golems. Like, headhunters, you would think would be worse, but it's actually not so bad, because one poison spell, and it just, like, the headhunters, like, do nothing. But, like, an ice golem, even if you use a freeze, or even if you use a poison, it still freezes the heroes, which lets defenses just attack them and kill them even longer. So, I would much rather see headhunters in the CC than ice golems. I prefer headhunters in CC way better than ice golems, on defense and on offense. But then we just recall our warden up to the top, and we just deal with the revenge tower with the RC. This is why I like the RC. I personally, would everybody okay, so in general, I think everybody would agree that the Dragon Duke is better than the RC. But for Lalo, I like the RC better, just because I can send her, like, from, like, all the way over here deep into the base. Whereas the Dragon Duke, I don't think you can really do that. On the Dragon Duke, you kind of got to use them on, like, a section over here or something like that. But that's why I like the RC. You can just start her from so far away and then just use her ability, and I just think it's so much better. In my opinion. Maybe it's just my playstyle, but that's what I think. Okay, so now this base, I've never 3-starred it. I hate this base so much, and I have no idea how to 3-star it. You could try to set up a flame flinger and snipe this, but then you would have to also snipe that, and you just don't have enough rocket balloons. So when I see this base, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes, if you see a base and you just know you can't 3-star no matter what you do, sometimes, just to have a good Legends Day isn't just all about 3-starring. Having a good Legends Day can be strategic in how you approach certain bases. Because, like, on this base, I know I can't 3-star it. So I just go I just do an approach I know will get a high percentage 2-star. I could try a different approach to actually 3-star it, but I could also get a 70% doing that. So in my mind, in a Legends Day, I know what approach can get a high or low to high 90, and so it's like, and I'm going to do that every single time I see this base, because if you have, like, once again, if you have one bad attack, because I have a bad one, I have a 70% today, and then one like 90, and then you triple all the other 6, that's a good day. I went 292 today, and like, that's a really good day. I think a 270 day is good. So I literally just do an approach to just get a nice 90%. And does it time fail? Honestly, I think it does time fail. I don't remember. But yeah, you see how much spells we have left? Like, I genuinely think this just time fails. But, there's nothing I can do about time. I kind of just started wasting my spells because I knew I had like 5 seconds left, 10 seconds left. So if I had infinite time, I could be smarter with my spells and 3-star it, but I know there's just not enough time. Okay, so this base. This is actually this is a base from, I actually used this base last season. It's from Saturn. It's a base from Saturn. It was funny. A guy in Saturn, the sub, actually leaked this base, and it was funny because they called him out, and it was like kind of funny. But either way, this base did really well for me one day. I think I went minus 228. So I was like, oh, well, I'll use it again the next day. I went minus 320. But either way, that's kind of a side note. So if we look at this, a lot of Flame Flinger value to the side. Like, lots of Flame Flinger value. So that's what we opt for. And then on this one, I actually don't opt to go for the CC. On this one, wait, actually, no. I'm an idiot. We do get the CC. We don't get the Bomb Hive, I don't think. So, yeah, on this one, Fireball target is just the Multi-Inferno, so we should get, like, all of this in the CC. So, and then, just like normal, you just recall your Warden to the top, and, yeah, I mean, should 3-star. I'm not going to say crushed, because I don't think it's crushed. I don't remember it being crushed. But, either way, if I saw this base again, I'd do the exact same thing. I think it's just because, like, really just not getting the Bomb Hive. I think the Bomb Hive just kind of, like, screwed up my Sui, like, really badly. So, yeah, I think the biggest issue was literally just the Bomb Hive. But, I'm not going to go for, like, a Fireball in the... Well, let's look at this. So, you know what? I actually could have... You know what? Scrap that. If you're going to attack this base... You see how I use that second invis? Use it on the Multi-Inferno. And Fireball the Scatter Shot. Yeah, do that. That's way better. Yeah, oh my god, that's so much better. Don't Fireball the freaking Multi-Inferno. That's retarded. I don't know why I would do that. 100% Fireball the Scatter. The Scatter, I just realized, it doesn't take like hardly any... It doesn't take any more spells than I just used, and you get more value. But still Flame Flinger at the bottom for sure. But yeah, Fireball the Scatter. You get the Bomb Hive. It would have been so much better. Would have been so much better. And then obviously watch your Warden. All the Teslas are up there, so you gotta watch him. Because people bait that side now because people know Warden walkers put their Warden up there because it's easy for it to solo. But yeah, so for sure. And then we just use our RC in from the back. And then we just Lalo the whole side. And I think we barely get it. Yeah, we barely get it because the Giga Bomb's over there, and the Giga Bomb literally soloed my entire Lalo. So, yeah, we barely get it. Oh, well, I mean, we still have a whole Warden alive, but you know what I mean. Okay, time for another bad fail. So, it happens. I forget about my Warden. I know I can 3-star space. I have before, but I misjudge the long shot range, and I thought when he's attacking this Rico cannon, I thought my Warden was out of the range of the long shot, so I didn't use a rage spell, but he is not. So I use it too late, the Warden dies, and we just try to salvage as good of a 2-star as we possibly can. But, it happens. It happens. That's the risk you run when you use a fireball attack like that. Or like a long Warden charge. Sometimes you just misjudge, and you're trying to be like very, what's the word? You're trying to be very, uh, methodical, I guess, on how you use your rage spells. So like you're trying to be very rational with them, and sometimes you just misjudge, and then you just, you mess up. You mess up and try to be too stingy with your spells, and then you just fail, but really badly. But it happens. Happens. I faced a lot of double rage bases today of this style. Let me take a drink. Okay, so on this base, you still want a fireball like this Boater Hut or this Super Wiz because you still want to get the CC. And I don't see any Flame Flinger value. I guess you could snipe these two buildings out, but like then you'd have to snipe this, and you got the Dragon Duke. So it's like, well, I was like, I'd prefer to just use a log launcher down here through the monolith. So that's what I do. And I think this one actually is a lot less sketch than the last one. But yeah. So once again, I'm trying to be stingy with my rage spells. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, because if you actually do get it to work and you don't have to waste your rage spell, it's very good. You can use it for your warden when you recall, you can use it for your sui, it's very nice. But at the same time, it's like it can be a double-edged sword, because you can be trying to like save your rage, like really trying to save it, and then your warden goes to auto ability, or your warden just gets killed, like the last attack I just showed. But I think that's why Gavin Clash of Clans, he uses fireball, rocket balloons, but he actually uses 2 rage spells. I don't like that. I like having more single spells to like support. So like I like having totems, I like having a skelly spell, a freeze, all that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily agree with 2 rages. That's like, once again, it's not about what's better or what's worse. It comes down to your playstyle. And Gavin, for his playstyle, he likes to have 2 rages. It's better for him. Now, is it better for me? No, I've tried it and I don't like it. I do way better with single spells, but more single housing space spells. So that's why I don't use it. But ultimately, it all comes down to playstyle. Once again, like with Fireball Lalo, people are like, oh, well, Mikey, Fireball Rocket Balloons is way better. It's way better. And it's like, yeah, I can understand why you would say it's way better and why you think it is. But for my playstyle, it's not. Like, I like having all that back-end support. Sometimes it gets no value. Most times I feel like it gets a lot of value, enough to where it supports my heroes to 3-star. Because I 3-star a good bit, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty good. So for my playstyle, I personally like having the Lalo better than... Lalo's better for me than Rocket Balloons just because of my playstyle. And see, the Revenge Tower, that is exactly why we were stingy with our Rage spell, because he's going to walk into it and he can't solo it without some spell support, so that's why we saved the Rage spell. That is exactly why, because the Warden would have died and we wouldn't have 3-starred, so that is why we did what we did. And see how much support the Lalo did? It got the whole back end. So that's why I use Lalo. I have also just been using Fireball Lalo literally since the beginning of Town Hall 17. So that's another reason. I'm just so comfortable and so used to this army. And people think it's like such a big flex. Like, oh, you use Lalo? Like, that's so crazy. And it's like, it's really not that crazy. Like, because like, there are players who are way better than me who could use this army, and I think do way better than me. But once again, maybe not. Maybe it's just not for their playstyle. But I feel like someone like Sinthe could use this army and place top freaking 200 or top 500. But either way, that's why I use it, just because I'm just way more comfortable with it. I tried, because people were telling me that, like, oh, Fireball Rocket Balloons is better. And I will say, the only thing that I like about Rocket Balloons better than Lalo is just because I can set up more Flame Flingers, because I have way more Rocket Balloons to snipe defenses. But it's not good enough it's not good enough for me personally to take that over all the back-end support that Lalo gives. Just personally, it's just what I like. So yeah. And now when I get top 1000, I want to use a different attack for a little bit. I think it'd be cool to use like something like Fireball Super Yetis. That's like my favorite Smash attack. favorite Smash attack of all time, by far, Fireball Super Yetis. I think it's so cool. I think Super Yetis are just such a cool troop in general, so that's probably what I'll do after I get top 1,000 with Lalo. And I think it'd make for some better content, to be honest. Because, people don't really like watching Lalo, because they're like, oh, well, shit, Lalo is so freaking hard. It's like, I'm definitely not going to use it, so why would I watch this guy? Why would I watch him use Lalo? But I don't have 2 accounts, so I only have 1, so I have to use what I want. Like, if I have a goal in mind, I have to use this account for that goal, even if it's something that people don't like to watch. So sometimes content is hard to make, gets stale. That's why, like, I don't even really, like, want to necessarily make videos right now, because I know they're not going to get very many views. But then again, it's like I need to post them so people can't be like, oh, well, you didn't use Lalo for the whole season or the majority of the season. And it's like, no, it's like I gotta still post so people are like, oh shit, he really did use Lalo, like, the entire season. So, yeah, that's why I guess still gotta post content. For this style of base, this is what I like to do. Like, I think just splitting in half and just log launching up the side, it's just, for this style, works every single time. Never have failed. It's just, some people like Synthé, I've seen him attack this style of base with Fireball Rocket Balloons, and he uses he'll use like a flinger, but for Lalo in particular, I like to just use a freaking log launcher. Okay, now this base, like I said, seen a lot of this style of base. Once again, I think it's just because there's more thrower spammers I've been seeing, and again, this base it's not just good for thrower spammers. This base is good against E-Drags, in my opinion. I've seen a lot of people fail with E-Drags, and I actually decide to use a Flame Flinger, and now, probably not the best choice, because there are, and I know it too, there are a bunch of traps down here and down here that I know my Flinger is only going to get that multi-gear, but I feel like it just sets a good enough funnel for my heroes that I still use it anyway. Have to use the Rage Spell right there, but you see, watch my Flinger. There's just so many traps down there that, like, see, Tornado Trap and everything, yeah, so you see he gets no value, but I feel like it just sets a good enough funnel that, like, and I've attacked this base before, so I just know that this approach 3 stars, so I'm like, well, I know this approach 3 stars, so it's like, why would I do something different? Like, even if it's close, because this attack is ultimately pretty close, but I know it's not going to fail. Like, I know it's going to 3-star. As long as I hit my Fireball, I recall my Warden and keep him safe, I know it's going to 3-star. Even if it's close, I know it will, so it's like, I'm not going to switch up my approach. Now, if I saw his base again, you know what? If I saw it again, I might try a log launcher, to be honest. I think it might pair better. I think a log launcher is better. But while I was in this attack, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to switch it up right now. I got bad defense today. I went minus 271 on defense. It's like, I really need the 3-star. And I know this 3 stars, even if it's close. So it's like, let's just 3-star and call it a day. So it's exactly what I do. Let me plug in the phone, actually. Get this damn phone plugged in. It's always dying on me. So, by the way, when there is a monolith on this behind the town hall instead of the revenge tower, you don't need a spell to support him. He can solo a monolith. Kind of shitty my RC went for it, because the RC ends up pulling the Warden, which I don't necessarily love, but it's still fine. So you see what I mean by it's really close. So, but I know 3-star, so that's why I still did this approach. Now for you, I recommend you use a log launcher, 100%. 150% use a log launcher. Go back to Lost, homie Quan. Alright. What was this? The second to last one? Yeah, sorry. So many attacks today, I just forgot. Okay, see, once again, this is a base that is, I saw it, dude, it wasn't even last season. It was the season before last. Like, all these bases, most of these bases that I'm facing at 1,000 reset, because the past 3 or 4 days I've been top 1,000, not top 1,000, sorry, just 1,000 reset around like 1,000, 1,500, 1,600, 1,800, and for people who are dumb and can't understand that, that's like 1,800, 1,500, 1,600. But yeah, so either way, burnt base. Don't know why I'm facing at such a high reset, but you can see a lot of flame flinger value over here. You can kind of get all of this, and that's pretty much it. But still, it kind of sets a good funnel. You'll see. Trust the process. Trust the process. I know it doesn't seem like too much fire or flame flinger value, but still, like a multi-inferno and a multi-archer tower, if I can get that with a flame flinger, dude, I'm taking that all freaking day. And we're just gonna obviously fireball the builder hut in the core. I've tried to go for a little deeper fireballs in this base. I've failed this base a lot, actually, because I'll try to like fireball this because I think it'd get these 2 infernos, and it doesn't, by the way. So don't even waste your time. Just fireball this and just let the warden continue to walk this way. So then you can send your heroes into here, and if your king walks around like mine does, it doesn't even matter because the flame flinger opens up the walls and lets him get in here to actually get a nice sick king ability. And then your queen, if she goes in here when the king pops his ability, she can actually go through and get the town hall. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and speed up for you because this video is very long, but you see we get half the core out, took that out. So we're just going to let our warden coast. There's no need to recall him anywhere. There's no need to, so we're just going to let him coast, get this revenge tower. CZ's already be triggered. So we literally just... Now, ideally, you don't want your king and queen to split, but I think it actually works out nicely. Like, I don't mind them splitting on this, just because my king can go in for the for the monolith, and then I can just RC this. And the reason I say to just let him walk down, the warden, and don't use the recall, is because look at this. Look, now my heroes are going to beat on a wall up here, but I can actually just use my recall them out over here, and now we don't time fail because of that. So, saving that recall and just letting the warden walk down literally saved me from time failing on this base. So, yeah, that concludes the past 2 Legends days. We have like 13 minutes, or, well, actually 17, sorry. I'm retarded. But yeah, so... we did very good the past 2 days. Actually, the past like 4 or 5 days. So, went like, once again, went like 274, 280, 301, 288, 292. So, very happy. Very happy with my performance so far. I feel like I'm very locked in. Very nice. So, yeah, we got 15 minutes. Make sure I got the base that I'm running. Yeah, so that's the base I'm going to run. And anyways, see you guys on the next one. Mikey's out.